What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So far, I've made quite a bit on my dividend portfolio when it comes to the gains. I typically tell you all about how much I've made in my dividends, and I will continue to tell you that. And during those videos, I also go through how much I'm up, but I want to make it known that not only should you be gaining in the dividends, you should be gaining in the positions that you hold and how that growth rate is with that position. Because you can gain not only like double the amount, but you can make something of those dividends when you are making money. If you're not making money, then why are you investing into those plays? It's just eating into your dividend profits. So make sure you guys are invested into the right things. Right now, I'm going to show you what I'm invested into and how much we've had in growth over this last year because we just hit a milestone and hopefully it stays at this level because the stock market is still open at the time of recording this video. But hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. And if you guys want to check out any of the links and sign up for Robinhood or Webull or Margex and trade crypto or whatever, feel free to check out those links in the description. Now, again, dividend portfolios, there will be a lot of people that will tell you, hey, invest into this play or invest into that play. And while I hear them out, while I hear all you guys out and say, hey, I should invest into this play over here, I still look at it and take my own advice. I look at it heavily and I look at the performance. If the performance doesn't line up with what I want to see, just because the dividend is 15% or 20% or whatever the percentage is, doesn't mean that you're going to gain a heck of a lot overall. You might end up losing money in the position that you buy versus gaining that 15% dividend. So don't just hunt for the best dividend possible. That is not the way to go, because if they're paying you so much money, they have to find a way to keep you. That's the reason why they're paying you so much. They're losing in their overall price. Now, if we look at my dividend portfolio, we are currently up to $106,132.13. And again, the market is open, so you're going to see it change. But I am up about $700 on the day. Now, I was a little bit concerned when we looked at the last week or so. The last week or so, things didn't look as great. While it still does look up and it's up 1,400 $81 or $1,454. Again, the market is still open, or 1%. We did see it drop down to $103,000, which then was about 1,400 down, or 1.4% down during that time. And that wasn't a good look. That wasn't great at all. I didn't like seeing it, but I knew that it was a place that where you can dollar cost average in. I unfortunately didn't dollar cost average in. I didn't have the freedom. I made my investments before that. If we look at the last month, we can see that it got to a high point on August 30th of $105,000, 105,579, up $2,325 during that time period, right? From the beginning of that time period to when, we were at that high point. And then it started to decrease down, got down to 103, but now we're starting to see it climb back up. And now it's up to 1,000 or $106,101.09. Now, we hit a significant milestone, right? And the significant milestone was how much we gained in the last full year. Now, right now, year to date, we're up by $9,336.41, or about 9% or almost 10%. However, we look over the last year. Hopefully it does adjust, because when we looked at this, it was up a little bit more, but it's up to $10,000 in how much we made overall with all the positions that we have in our possession. $10,000 that we made in 1 year. And that's the goal that I'm looking for. And now it's above 10,000. That's the goal that I'm looking for every year on average to gain me 10%, whether it's 10% here and then 5% here and then 15% there or whatever. I just want to gain a consistent 10% year over year, so that I can not only gain with the dividends that I have, but also gain by the positions that I hold as well and the growth of those positions. Again, if you're not doing it this way, you're not going to have major success in having a dividend portfolio, because it's going to feel like you're not gaining anything. not only do you want to gain that extra $2,000, $3,000 that maybe you can gain in dividends over the year, but the extra 10,000 feels really, really good, right? It feels amazing because then you know that you're invested into the right things rather than investing into just the S&P 500 and maybe gaining 10% there. You're investing into these things while also gaining maybe a 3 to 5% dividend over all of the positions that you have. Now, if we go into some of the positions that we have, my heaviest position that I do currently own, if we look at by equity, I own 25,000 worth of SPHD. This is a play that pays me every single month, and I love that. And it's also consistent in the growth. I feel like I've invested at a good spot, and I will consistently invest into it. And over the next 10 years, hopefully, this is a consistent banger for me as well as it is right now. I also have a lot of money in SCHD, about 15,000. I have 14,000 in DHS, which is another monthly paying position. I have 12,000, pushing up to 13,000 of JEPI, which is not the biggest dividend that I can get, but it is a consistent grower for me, so that's always great. I do have 11,000 in ticker symbol O, which is a monthly paying position as well. I'm closing in on 200 shares. I would love to get to 1,000 shares, as well as SPHD get to 1,000 shares, but right now we're sitting at 200 and we're working our way up. FDVV, I have about 6,000. I want to get a lot more of that as time goes on. And I also have some other plays that are not necessarily ETFs or REITs or anything. We have KO, which is Coca-Cola. I have $4,000 in there, and I feel like I've been able to grow with that. I have Nike, and I have 41 shares with that. I invested while it was at the low point of like $70, and I want to see it pick up quite a bit more. But the point of this video is not necessarily just to display how much I have and how much money I've made from this. While it is kind of displaying that way, and I'm telling you guys how much money I have made over the past year, it's more about the message of trying to invest into the right things. So many people will tell you that, even me right here, that these are the right plays. You go with what you see is comfortable for your strategy. If you believe it has consistent growth, then you invest into that. I'm not going to tell you that you need to go all in on SCHD, even though it's one of the most popular plays of 2024 right now, or SPHD because it's paying me monthly and it's growing and it's at a good spot. I'm not going to tell you that you physically need to invest into those things, but I will advise, I will tell people, hey, this looks like a great play. Maybe you should look into it a little bit more. And I think what you need to look at is the length of time. So if we go into an example, let's say it's SCHD, and we wanted to go into exactly how much it has made over a long period of time. For these ETFs, they will give you a breakdown of exactly how much they made over a certain period of time and all history. You talk about the last year, 1 year, 17%. The last 3 years, you're looking at an average of 6.5%. Last 5 years, 13%. 10 years, 11, almost 12%. And since 2011, 13.36%. This is what I like to see, is consistency in that. But when you go into another play, which I can't really give you an example of, I did have an example before, but if you go into another play, I think it may be like QLYD, QLYD, I think, or QYLD. I think this might be one to where you break it down and you look at all the history and it shows you a consistent loss. Like, this is something you don't want to be invested into. No offense to anybody that invested into QLYD. How much does it pay in a dividend yield? It seems like it doesn't pay a massive dividend yield. It pays 21 or 0.21 with an expense ratio of 0.61, which is not great at all. But you can look at over the length of time. It says over the last year, right, month end, it's up 15%, 3%, 7%, 7%. It says 7% since 2013, but realistically, you're seeing so much information that's telling you the exact opposite, where it's been dropping consistently. We haven't seen major growth in this play, and maybe it's time for it to turn around. Who knows? But I want to see the consistency from the moment it said go to where it is right now. I want to see a trend line that looks like, I guess if you're on the other side, you want to see it like this. I want to see a trend line that looks like this rather than like this. I don't want to see that. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. I'm so happy that we were able to hit this milestone, and hopefully we have so much more growth up to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,000 this year. That would be amazing. The first year I start this dividend portfolio to gain that much, that means that I'm investing into the right things. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.